So today we'll start with ternary operator. Ternary operator in the sense it is an operator which takes three operands. It's called as what? Ternary operator. Even sometimes more than three operands also it will take. It is also called as conditional operator. So question mark colon is referred as conditional operator or ternary operator. If here it is going to work like this. Say I'll write C equal to 7 greater than 5 question mark 1 colon 0. That means if 7 greater than 5 condition is true, then the true value 1 will be assigned to the variable C. Suppose if this condition is evaluated to false, then 0 will be assigned to C. So that means based on the conditions result, that is true or false, it will decide which value to return. This operator, the operator that operates on three operands, is called conditional operator or ternary operator. Precedence of operators or hierarchy of operator. See, in the mathematics, you will be following Bodmer's rule. Like for example, say the equation 7 into 5 plus 9 divided by 3 minus 2, right, plus 4 is there. In this equation, more than one operator is involved. Multiplication is there, division is there, minus, plus, everything is there, right? See, now in such case, now how we have to calculate this? See, now suppose if I do like this, from left to right, 2 plus 7, 9, into 5, plus 9 divided by 3, minus 2 plus 4 is there. In second round, what I do? 9 into 5. 5 nines are 45 plus 9 divided by 3 minus 2 plus 4. Then 45 plus 9 divided by 3. 3 minus 2 plus 4 is there. Equal to, right? 45 plus 3, 48 minus 2 plus 4. So like this, minus 6. Now, see, we got one dozen. 48 minus 6 is 42. But this is not only the correct. See, another person, what he will do, he will try to solve this same equation from right to left. That is what first he will do this, then he will do this, then he will do this, then 2 will be added. Another person will try, say 5 plus 9 plus, then like that, everyone if starts solving the equation on their own way, left to right, right to left, middle to right, as per their own wish, then everyone's result will be different. That is why in mathematics, they have created Bodmer's rules, where as per that, first multiplication or division has to be done, then subtraction or addition should be done. So if we go as per that Bodmer's rule, so what happens is everyone's result will be same. The same thing is adopted in programming language also. That is called as what? Precedence of operator or hierarchy of operator, and some associative rules are also adopted. Precedence of operator says in the equation, if more than one type of operator is included, then which operator, right, has to be manipulated first. That will be indicated or represented by precedence of operator. Whereas the associative rules decides that when multiple operators of the same precedence are involved in the equation, then how, in what direction it should be solved, either left to right or right to left. So that will be decided by rules of associative. So let us go with precedence of operators or hierarchy of operators. At the first, it becomes absolutely necessary to know as to what is an expression. An expression is a combination of operators and operands. Opcode means operators, operation to be performed. The operators could be arithmetic operator, relational operator, logical operator, or any one just discussed in the previous section, that is conditional operator. If the expression contains multiple operators, the order in which operations are carried out is called precedence of operator. It is also called as priority or hierarchy. So operator precedence determines the grouping of terms in an expression. This affects how an expression is evaluated. Certain operators have higher precedence than others, right? For example, multiplication operators has higher precedence than the addition operator. If the expression contains multiple operators, the order in which operations are carried out is called precedence of operator. So example C, x equal to 7 plus 3 into 2 is there. Will you do 7 plus 3 first, then that answer multiplied by 10, or you will do first 3 into 2, then you will add that result to 7, right? So here x is assigned 13, not 20, because operator. See, if I do 7 plus 3, it is 10. 10 into 2 is 20. If I'm doing in my own way. But actually, as per precedence rule, first multiplication is having higher priority. So 3 to the 6, 6 plus 7 is 13. This is the correct answer. Because multiplication sign is having higher precedence than plus, so it first get multiplied with 3 into 2 and then adds into 7, right? So here we have a table denoting what are the operators which are arranged in as per the precedence of operator. So category, it is a postfix. Postfix means what? After the operator, operand you are going to write. If it is prefix, means you are going to write it before. So these are the operators, right? Then here the associative rule says left to right. That means if more than one operator from this category, if it is involved in the equation, then they have to be manipulated from left to right. Unary operator means these are used alone with the single operand, like minus a plus b, like that. So these are the set of operators, and see the associative rules right to left. So multiplicative, multiplication, division, modulus division, it is left to right. Additive, plus minus, left to right direction. Shifting, left to right. Relational operators, all relational, only this less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, left to right. Equality, is equal to and is not equal to, it is left to right. Bitwise signed, bitwise x or then bitwise or will come. All are left to right direction. So only the unary operators are having right to left, and some more are there here. Logical and logical are conditional operator. See, conditional operator is right to left. All kinds of assignment operators, it is right to left. Comma operator is left to left. Okay. So what is operator precedence in C++? The order in which different types of operators are evaluated is called as operator precedence, right? So C++ have their own level of precedence, right? In any expression, operator having higher priority, higher hierarchy, or higher precedence are evaluated first, right? So operators which are having higher priority will be evaluated first, then the lower priority. The expression is evaluated in the following sequence: arithmetic, relational, logical. So this shows the level of precedence. The NOT operator, logical NOT, having highest priority, whereas parentheses are having second priority. And multiplication division modulus is having third priority, plus minus having fourth. Relational operator less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to are having fifth level. Is equal to, is not equal to, it is at sixth level of precedency. And logical line, it is at 7. Logical OR, it's at 9, 8. And only NOT operator. Right, it is at 9. Now here the expression in parentheses, always in the equation, even in the mathematics also. Assume that we'll have a simple equation, 7 plus 3 multiplied by 2 is there. As multiplication is having higher priority, so first what do you have to do? 7 plus 3 into 2, 6. Then 7 plus 6 is 13. But the same equation, if I write 7 plus 3 multiplied by 2, but 7 plus 3 is enclosed in the parenthesis. So what happens now? Even though multiplication is having higher precedence, but more than that, this parenthesis is having highest precedence. So that is why here that 7 plus 3, as it is inside the parenthesis, even though plus is having lower priority, but that expression is enclosed in the parenthesis. That is why it has to be manipulated first. That is why 10 multiplied by 2. So this time result is 21, because 7 plus 3 is enclosed in parenthesis. Fine. So here, in case of a nested parenthesis, see one more point. In case of nested parenthesis, 7 plus 3 into 2 minus 5 plus 6 is there, right? So what they have done is, here one bracket is there, set. Fine. And one more is like this. Now as the whole expression is in one set of parentheses, 2 minus 5 is in another parenthesis. So this is innermost parenthesis. So here what? First that 2 minus 5 only it should be calculated. Right. So 2 minus 5, it is how much? Minus 3. Right. Then the remaining equation has to be solved. Like this. Next, multiplication, division operators are evaluated. Then plus minus operators are evaluated. Relational operators and finally assignment operators are respectively evaluated. If the expression contains the operators of equal priority, then the operations are performed as first come first serve basis. Right. Here, one example. 5 into, in the bracket 4 plus 10 minus 6 is enclosed into a parenthesis divided by 2, close parenthesis plus 5. So here, first of all, the expression in innermost parenthesis is 10 minus 6. So that will be evaluated first. Right. That will be evaluated first. So that means it is 5 into, in the bracket 4 plus, again bracket, or 10 minus 6, then divided by 2 plus, after divided by 2 close, plus 5. Okay. So now what happens? As 10 minus 6 is in the innermost parenthesis. So what do you have to do? First, you have to calculate the result for this. 10 minus 6 means 4. That you write it here. After that, one more set of second step, result of this expression is divided by 2. right? Because inside this parenthesis only 4 plus 4 divided by 2 is there. Between plus and the division operator, division is having highest priority. So 5 into 5 into 4 plus 4 divided by 2 means 2, then plus 5. In the third step, 4 plus 2 will be added so that that parenthesis can be removed. 4 plus 2, 6 plus 5. In this, multiplication is having highest priority. So 5 6 are 30, then plus 5. Final result is 35. Like this, you have to evaluate. Any algebraic expression has to be converted to C++ expression before evaluation. All variables on the right hand side of the expression should be assigned values before the evaluation. If an expression, any two operands have the same precedence, then evaluation is done from left to right or based on the associative rules. If nested parenthesis is encountered, then the innermost parenthesis has to be evaluated first and has to be evaluated first. Some equivalent C++ expressions are, here you see, AB minus C into D. So here that AB minus C into D, AB minus C into D is there. While reading, how do you read? A into B minus C into D only. But in mathematics, it is not compulsory to write this multiplication sign here. It is understood, right? But in programming, it is not like that because computer doesn't understand like that. You have to write it in detail. A into B minus C into D. Similarly, the quadratic equation x equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac whole divided by 2a is there. So it is written as x1 equal to minus b plus. In the programming language, how to write this, right? See here what happens. X1 minus b is there. Okay, that will be written as it is. After that, plus or minus, no, first time I'll take plus. Then square root sign, it is not there on the keyboard. So you have to write sqrt. In C++ for representing square root sign, we have sqrt function where sqrt you have to write inside the bracket. It is b square, means you have to write b into b. We don't have a provision of writing b square, right? Minus 4 into a into c. 4 into a into c, close the parenthesis of sqrt, whole divided by 2a is there. So here one closing parenthesis and here one opening. So whole divided by, you have to use this division only. 2a is there. 2a means what? 2 into a. Let's enclose that 2 into a in another parenthesis. Similarly, x2 equal to the same expression, but here before a square root minus sign. Plus or minus sign is there, no? That is why here minus sign. So this is what now how to convert the mathematical expression into C++ expression. This is also important. They may give you some formulas and they may ask you to convert that expression into the C++ expression. Now type conversion means converting value from one type to another type is called as type conversion. Type conversion means converting value from one type to another type is called as what? Typecasting or type conversion. We have two types of conversions. One is implicit, another is explicit. Implicit conversion means what? These conversions will take place while the execution of the program without the knowledge of user. As per the rules given in the programming language, internally the conversions will take place themselves. So these can also be called as automatic conversion. They are automatically performed when the value is copied to a compatible type. So the C++ compiler will implicitly convert or promote values if it can be done safely. If not, it will generate a warning or an error message depending on the conversion required. Means by this warning message or error message, the programming language intimates to the user that there is a need of conversion if it is not possible with the implicit rules. See, now there is a value short a equal to 2000. It's a short integer value. Int b equal to a is there. Now in this, the value of a has been promoted from short to int because short integer is a lower priority data type than int data type. Because short data type total range is smaller than the int range. Right. How we came to know about this? In the second part, in the last part, what we had discussed, no? In that you check it out about the data type. We had one discussion. There was a table indicating what all the different types of data types are there, how many bytes of memory they consume, how much range of values they can represent in the negative side, on the positive side. Based on that, we can say that short int data type is smaller data type than int data type. What you are doing is you are copying the value of a into the b data type, where a is a short int data type, b is a int data type, where a short int is a smaller range, b is a higher range. As both of them belongs to the same category, that is integer data type. That is why smaller data type a, it is promoted to the higher data type int without the knowledge of user. Internally, automatically it will become. This is what implicit conversions, right? So standard conversions affect fundamental data types and allow conversions such as conversions between numerical types, short to int to float, double to int, right? To or from Boolean, and some pointer conversions, right? These conversions may employ a loss of per precision. Yes, there is a chance. See, here, int is a data type which represents values without decimal part. Float is a data type which represents a value with a decimal part. Now suppose if I am writing int pi, so if I write pi equal to x, so what happens? X value is converted to pi. See, float is a higher data type, int is a lower data type. This conversion is possible, but int can't hold the decimal part, but float is having decimal part 0.142. So when the x value is getting copied to the pi, so what happens, it will discard or it will remove this 0.142. Only the value which is present before the point, that is integer part, will be copied to the pi. So there is a loss of precision, right? So which compiler can signal with a warning saying that there is a loss of precision. Constant big equal to this much. Const short in small equal to big. Here in the above example, the compiler will most likely to generate a warning message about truncation as trying to put a large number into a small variable. We lose part of the number because the range what they have given in the variable b, that range cannot be pulled into the small of data type short int, because short int total range is smaller than int. That is why it will raise the warning message. Even if it is copied, then you will be seeing that in the small we will be receiving smaller value. If you add a float to a double, it will treat both as doubles. If add an int to a float, both are treated as float only. See, for example, if there is a int x equal to 3.142, fine. If I am saying float y equal to x, sorry, in int we can't write decimal part, it's only 3. If I am writing x equal to y, in y what? Both will be treated as a float only. So in y, what you will get? 3.0. Add a short int to an int, both will be added as int, and the same is true with character. Character a equal to 2 is there, int b equal to a plus 9 we can write. A plus 9. This is poor code, but it compiles and runs. The implicit promotion of 2 to an int with the equal value of 50 result in its outputting 59. This is because it won't consider the value 2 here. The ASCII code of the 2, is 50. So it is A means the ASCII code of value 2, right? 50 plus 9 is 59. This can be avoided with an explicit conversion. So explicit conversions in the sense the conversion is done by the user itself. Forcible conversion of a value from one data type to another data. Programmer himself will do this. That is explicit conversion. Implicit conversion goes based on the rules of the programming language. Explicit conversion will be as per the requirement of the programmer. So C++ is a strong typed language. Many conversions, especially those that imply a different interpretation of the value, require an explicit conversion. The short int a equal to 2000, int b is there. B equal to int of a means a is forcibly said to the C++ that convert this value to int type only. I'm instructing the C++ compiler that do not convert it to any other data type as per your implicit rules. Convert it to int only. If I write the data type to which this a has to be converted inside the parentheses, it is a C style explicit conversion. The same int is written outside the bracket and the value to be converted is inside the parentheses. This method is what? It is C++ style. That is functional notation we call. Implicit conversions will be performed by compiler itself without the user intervention, whereas explicit conversions will be performed by user itself. Here they have given structure of C++ program, how the simple C++ program will be. Hash include iostream.h, void main, opening brace, some statement is given here, then the closing brace. Right. So where in the structure, they have given, this is the structure, right? Usually all the C++ program comes in this style only. Okay. So this question they may ask you, briefly explain the structure of C++ program. You need to write this structure and you should be able to explain all the parts of this program, right? So later on, in the next section, we will be able to understand in depth about the actual structure of C++ program. So C++ program structure, let us analyze the structure of C++ program about the tokens and the operators from C++ by taking the support of the following table. Here it is. This is the structure, right? Comments are documentation section, first line. See, they have written # program to find an area and the circumference of a circle. This is called as what? Comment. Remember, it is not necessary to write a double slash at the end. Here they have written. It is not required. It's a single line comment. It is not going to be an error, but it is not required. Kindly note that. You may feel that starting and ending we have to do, it is wrong. Only in the beginning itself you have to write double slash, at the end you need not to write. Linker section means you will be writing hash include header files, stdio.h, conio.h, like that, and hash defined statements, defined section it is. Global variable declaration, we don't have anything here. Void main is there as usual. Declaration section means you will be declaring the required variables. Executable statements means what? You will be taking input, you will be asking the input from the user, you will be writing equations, expressions, and you will be printing it, right? And there may be a subroutine sections, that is functions, right? Any number of functions can be defined outside the program. This is structure of the program, but they have written stdio.h. It is not that it cannot be written in C++ program, but usually in C++ program, the hash include iostream, only iostream or iostream.h, both can be written. In all online compilers, they use only iostream here. Then about every section, they are giving the detailed explanation. Comments or document section. This section gives the explanation about the program, the purpose of writing this code or a program, why you are writing, for what purpose you are writing, why you have to write this documentation section, because now you have some idea, you have some logic, so you'll be remembering and you are writing, but in the future, after a few years later, right? So what happens is you may not remember why you wrote this program. In such case, you need to check out the entire program to understand why you wrote. But this documentation or a comment section will help you to understand why you write that or wrote that program, the purpose you have to write. You can use either single line comment or you can use multi-line comment. This one. Linker section means there will be a header files, right? Required header files will be there. These are like libraries, preprocessor directives, we say. They always starts with hash include and enclose some name inside the angular bracket, less than and greater than sign. Inside that some name will be there, ends with the .h, but in the latest versions and all, even .h is removed, right? So these statement tells the compiler to include these header files into our program so that the functions, the commands present inside these header files, so we will be able to use those commands into our program. If you are not including, but if you are using any of the functions present in these files, then it's going to be an error. Before you use any command, first check it out in which file it is present. As per that rule, include that preprocessor directive and then definition section is what it is used for defining the constants, expressions, structures, functions, classes, and objects. All things can be defined in this section. After the linker section, usually it will be there and it will be executed. The definition section is executed by the compiler. This section is optional. If you want, you can write or you can leave it. As an example, what they have given us, this highlighted line says that we are wherever you wanted to write 3.1 in your program, all you can write just I. So we are defining a constant or a symbolic unit for the value 3.1 because we don't have a file for the keyboard. So that is why what we do, use this kind of writing. Global variable declaration means some variables will be there which will be helpful in all the subroutine functions including global variable declaration. If you declare any variable, any functions in this section, then they can be used throughout the program. This global variable declaration is optional. It is not mandatory to write something in this section. And the main section is important. You can see that first we have a void, says that it is not returning anything. Main says that it is the name of the function, main only. That name cannot be changed. That name, spelling, case should be like this only. And that set of parentheses followed by main indicates that it is a function. It's like built-in function, we can say. The one main should be there in every program. If main is not there, then your program will not get executed, right? So set of braces, see, I always call these things as parentheses. I don't use a word brackets. Similarly, for these flower brackets, usually when we are solving mathematical equations, we say flower bracket, but here these are called as braces, opening brace and the closing brace. These words only you have to use. Don't use brackets. Only for the square bracket, you have to use the word bracket. For this, you have to use specific words only. And variable declaration section contains what all the variables you need. Like in the above table, you can see that they have written int, radius, float, circle, circumference, and area. This is indicating that we are declaring some variables. So once the variables are declared over there, then those variables can be used throughout the main program. Executable statements in the sense which it contains input output statements and expressions, executable statements. These things will be there in this. And then importance of iostream.h. This is called as preprocessor directive, right? It always starts with all. It's not only about iostream. All preprocessor directives starts with hash include only, lowercase, and they always enclosed inside the angular bracket. Inside that, here dash, what they have given, some name will be there, standard name, predefined names. Then dot h says it's a header file. It is called as what? Preprocessor directive. Before your program is executed, these header files will get executed first, then it will go to the real program. Hash include directives. So for different, see, hash include directives are actually what? Here the developer B. Jorne Stroustrup of C++, what he has done is he has created lot of commands in the C++. But all the commands he has not kept in one file. He has kept in different files based on the different categories of operations, right? So those different categories of operations are what? Say mathematical related, character related, words related, date and time related, string related. Like this, there are various uh, functions. So in these categories, those commands are divided and those categories related functions are kept in different files. Those files are called as what? Preprocessor directive. As per your requirement, you include the required preprocessor directive in your program and use the command which is present inside that hashing that preprocessor directive, right? Library functions in the sense what? Just now you saw that here, while solving quadratic equation, I said that square root symbol is not present on the keyboard. So we are using SQRT, a ready-made name in the C++, to represent in place of square root sign. So this SQRT, we call it as a library function. They have given alternative function. Why we have to use? One thing is what? That SQRT symbol is not there, so I have to use this. One more advantage is that SQRT symbol is not there, and I don't want to use this SQRT function. Maybe in mathematics, there will be some large equation will be there to solve this SQRT calculation without using that operator. But instead of writing that lengthy formula, if you are using this SQRT function, so your time will be saved, your program length will be shortened. Because of that, in a small length program, you'll be doing the big operation, and automatically the quality ratings of your program will increase. The efficiency of your program will. So here there are some functions, mathematical functions. You can see here there will be always some name inside the parenthesis, this round bracket, some value you have to send. So it will give you the result, like sine theta, the sines, trigonometry, what you will be doing, that will be done here like this. Sine theta, it will give you sine of x, but it is that x, it has to be converted into radians. You'll be giving 30, 30 into pi by 180 you have to do to get the proper value as per your mathematical value. Like you'll be having in mathematics sine of 30 means there will be a table where some standard value will be there now. To get the same value, whatever the x value you are giving, you convert it to radians and give it to the sine theta, cos theta, tan theta function, right? Similarly, all these are there. So all of you science students, you can understand better. Commerce students, don't worry about this. If any equation is there, where there is an requirement of this function, we can just use it. Okay. And then here, how to convert it to the radians, even that formula is also given. So all of you are familiar with that. Character functions. So when we want to work with the character, means say there is a word programming. For every individual character, I want to convert it to uppercase. Then what I have to do? I have to use some function from this. So working with the individual character, we have all these ready-made function. When I want to use all these ready-made function, it is necessary to include ctype.h. In the same way, when I want to use all these mathematical function, including hash include mat.h, this line should be there before the main program. Otherwise, it will not work, right? Similarly, when I want to work with all these string function, then I need to include string.h. String function means what? They work on group of characters at a time. There are large category. So here they are showing you generally used function. Console IO based function where I need to write stdio.h, which is actually from C language. So these all functions are there. So then general purpose, don't worry, just what you have to do, see what is the spelling of that, case of that, and opening close parenthesis, and read this explanation and remember it. In the exam, they may ask you in the fill in the blanks, they may give you this explanation, they may ask you this explanation is belongs to which function, right? That chances will be there. In the general purpose standard library function, we have stdlib.h. We have randomize random A to I to A conversions are there, where they convert string to numerical representation or converts a number to a string. Some more functions like get che are there. Get ch or get ch and get che functions are used to read one character from the keyboard. So whatever the letter you type from the keyboard, that will be accepted from the keyboard and it will be stored into those variables to work further. For this, you have to include conio.h stands for console. CON stands for console, input output .h. Right. So here, if you are using offline compiler of C++, you will be using get che or get ch, and even CLR is CR for clear screen. Conio.h is helpful for both in C and C++. Okay, so this is all about this chapter, Introduction to C++. So all these questions are there, just go through it. The next chapter is about data types, right? So in the next class, we are going to see about data types. So we request all the students to subscribe our channel. Along with that, kindly share this channel in your friend circle, in your contacts, so that more students can get benefited with these videos. Right. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.